With the permission of my father, really quick, I want to make a small correction, Rabotai. I want to try to bring down today, I'm not going to speak about honoring our parents today. I just want to speak about what does it mean that a husband has to honor his wife and a wife has to honor his husband. I want to bring it down to the Shulchan Aruch. Yesterday, Rabotai, I got a message, Rabbi, why is it that you are only attacking the woman and not saying anything to the guys? The guys are also sitting home on their phones and wasting their lives away. So first of all, I could only say what I could see, because unfortunately, Rabotai, when people get divorced, when a woman gets divorced, she runs her mouth, she doesn't think what's happening, she thinks by getting whatever she's going to get from the husband, not thinking what's going to be with the kids. There's many divorces, Rabotai. I'm telling you right now, we can solve all this problem if we're just going to be able to control our mouths. So this way, Rabotai, I say whatever I'm able to see. But somebody brought to my attention yesterday, Rabbi, that it's not only the women that are on their phones and, right, always wasting their time. It's also the husbands when the wives come home, or whatever it might be. The husbands are on their phone playing games, watching sports, watching whoever knows what they are watching. Rabotai, number one, that is for sure asur. There's no question about it. For a husband to waste his time on the phone and not to be learning Torah, and how much more so not to be able to even spend time with his wife, that is not allowed. There's not going to be one rabbi who's going to tell you allowed to do it, especially on the account of your wife or on the account of your children. But this, when this was brought to my attention, I was thinking to myself, I said to myself, I don't you, John. Now, if people that are married just stay married, but for those that want to get married, I don't understand why a girl would ever want to get married to a guy that is a bum. Put it like this: that sits on his phone and wastes his life away, or he's on his bed and she's trying to go to sleep, or she's trying to get his attention, and he's only doing and all he's doing is wasting his time on his phone or with his friend. I don't know why a girl would ever marry such a guy, because Chazal tell us it's better to throw your daughter into a lion's den than to give your daughter to an Amarit, to an ignoramus person. And that's what it comes out. Rabotai, the honest truth is over here is like this. Rahman John Tisamnoy. The honest truth is over here like this. That everybody has to be very careful in these things. It's not a joke. That's why a husband needs to know, just like he understands, or better yet, a wife needs to understand, just like she understands that it's important for the husband to go to college or to whatever the situation might be and get a job and make sure the bills are paid and the houses, the mortgages are paid, the yeshiva is paid, the woman has a roof over her head, the house, the tuition is paid. Just like a woman understands that's what a husband is for, he's there to help also pay the bills. A woman needs to understand when we get married, when a woman gets married to a guy, she needs to get married to a guy who's going to learn. I'm not saying a guy has to sit and learn 24 hours, 7 days a week, but every husband has to make time to learn Torah in the morning and to learn Torah at night. Remember one thing, the ladies have to know, if the husband is home on his phone, just like you understand when he would be home from work and not making money, when he's on his phone and he's not learning Torah and he's not doing mitzvot, he's not making any money. That means when you're going to come to Olam Haba, when the woman's going to come to Olam Haba, Chazal tell us that the whole resurrection, that the merit that a woman's going to have, because she waited for her husband to come home from the base measure from synagogue at night. But if the husband does not learn Torah, she could be the most righteous woman. Unfortunately, she might not get up. Why? Because the husband's not learning Torah. So therefore, a woman has to see to it that the husbands learn Torah. That's why when I hear all these things about challah parties, berachot parties, what happens? The woman, they go to challah party and berachot party. And what happens, Aronchik? They leave their husbands to babysit the kids. Number one, the obligation to learn Torah is on the men. So do a challah party, berachot party, you could do on your own account, not on your husband's account. Either you get a babysitter and then you go. But you must see to it that your husband learns Torah, because the obligation is on him, because you will be very surprised when you come there, you are living a world of upside down. And when the husbands go learn Torah, they should not be going learn Torah listening to stories, Rabotai. They should ask the rabbis to teach them halachot, teach them the Gemara, ask the rabbis to teach them material which is going to be helpful. So I just wanted to clear that up. I'm not chas v'shalom, lo aleinu targeting not women, nobody Rabotai. I'm just trying to say it how it is so people can know what is going on in the world. I want to read for you over here today 3 halachot regarding what does it mean that a wife has to honor her husband, and what does it mean that a husband has to honor his wife. In Hilchot Nashim, in Perek Tetvav, in Halacha Yutet, the Rambam brings down, V'chen tzivu hachamim, the rabbis commanded, Sheyeh adam mechabed et ishto yoter migufo. The rabbis commanded that a man, a husband, has to honor his wife more than his body. Ve'ohavo ki gufo, but he has to love her like his body. Ve'im yesh lo mamon, if he has money, mirabeh betovato kifya mamon, he has to try to increase it, he has to try to benefit his wife according to his abilities. Ve'lo yatil aleha ema yetera, he should not put on her a lot of fear. Ve'hiyeh devoroha ema benachat, he should always speak to her pleasantly. Ve'lo ye'atzev ve'lo ragzan, rabotai, rogez. He should never be sad in front of her, rabotai, and he should never be angry. A husband has to always be in a positive, in an optimistic attitude. I understand that when you are at work, things might not go the way you want, but nevertheless, when you come home, your wife does not have to know your problems that are at work. Business is business, family is family. How they say in the American world, we don't mix business with pleasure. You don't mix business with family. So that's why this is the halakha, that a husband really has an obligation, rabotai, to be able to honor his wife, like we saw over here. Halakha Chav says like this, but what happens when it comes to the woman? By the woman, it's a little bit much more. Like we said yesterday, by the woman, she will become a queen only when he becomes a king. Not like the Goyim think, first you have to serve your wife, if she becomes a queen, then you become a king. It doesn't work like that. Look what the Rambam says. V'chen tzivu hachamim ala isha, and so to the chachamim, they commanded to the wife, shitiyeh mechabedet et ba'ala biyoter midai. A woman must honor her husband a lot, very much, greatly. V'hilo aleh mora, rabotai, the wife has to have fear of the husband. Not a lot of fear, but she has to realize who she's standing before. V'ta'aseh kol ma'asecha al piv. Anything that the wife has to do in the house has to be with the permission of the husband. Whatever the husband says, that's what she has to do. The wife has to look at the husband like a ruler, or melech, or she has to look at the husband like a king. So there, Rabotai, if a woman is able to look at the husband like a ruler or a melech, believe me, they're not going to answer back. They're not going to speak disrespectfully. They're going to do what the halacha says. Mehalechet bita'avot libo. She has to go in the desires of his heart. What the husband wants, that's what you're going to do. Look how much the Rambam is adding. Umiracheket kol she'isneh. The wife has to distance herself from anything that the husband hates. She cannot do things that's going to make the husband repulsive with her. V'zehu derech banot Yisrael u'bnei Yisrael. This is the way of the Jewish girls and the Jewish boys. Hakidoshim, hatehorim, b'zivugam. Right? The holy and the pure people in their parents. Rabotai, we see over here clearly that the Rambam is telling us over here that in order to be able to have a beautiful relationship, yes, the husband has to be able to take care of the wife when it comes with monetary. But when it comes to who do we listen to, Rabotai? The husband, because he's the man in the house. Because men, they think with their mind, they don't think with emotions. So these, Rabotai, these are the two halachot that the Rambam brings down. Now, a lot of us, unfortunately, we like sugulot, which is not so wrong if it's free, right? No. Rabotai, I want to read for you over here the Shulchan Aruch in Choshen Mishpat. We do not know so many halachot in the Torah, and we feel that we're going to be able to come to Olam Haba when we say, Hashem, we did everything correctly. How did you say? Wait till you get there, Rabotai. Wait till you'll get there. You'll be shocked to see what kind of life you lived. A life of sheker. A life of lies. Rabotai, I want to tell you something. A lot of times people go to counseling. I don't care who they go to. Right? So the rabbi sits there and he tells the wife, what's the problem? And she starts a whole Megillat Esther. Why? There's not one good thing that your husband does. There's not one good thing that your husband does. Everything wrong. And then the rabbi starts with him. And what's your problem? And he starts, Rabotai, I want to teach you a secret. The problem today is don't ignite the problem. If the wife says that these are the problems of the husband should be quiet. If the husband says that these are my wife has the problem, the wife should be quiet. Somebody has to be able to give in. If you want to have a good life, one of you, the smart one, will give in. And that's what Chazal say. It's better to be insulted all your life, but never to insult other people. These people will become great. That's why, Rabotai, whether it's a husband, whether it's a wife, we need to know, Rabotai, that not to go ahead and embarrass other people. And it's unbelievable. You guys don't know because you guys are not rabbi, but if you ever go to a bed, and if you ever see how the wife, when they call, especially when they're embarrassing the husband doesn't, if he had a place to hide, he would hide. I want to ask the woman a question, or the other way around, the husband's a question. Whoever is the one who's attacking, what, the halachot of Lashon Hara don't apply. The halachot of embarrassing your husband don't apply. All these halachot of don't apply the way you speak of. Where's the hakar dato? Where's the appreciation? All these things we erase, correct? Why? Because we're trying to prove a point. Rabotai, do not do that. It is asur to go ahead and embarrass another person, especially if it's your husband. Anybody who embarrasses his friend in public, he has no portion in the world to come. You can be the biggest rabbi for all I care. Rabotai, we need to do what the Torah says and not what our emotions say. But I want to read for you over here in halakha that this person that brought this to my attention, and she was very right. I'll tell you why. Because I looked it up. When a husband comes home and he's on his phone or he's watching TV and that upsets the wife, he has to be very careful. So halakha in the Shulchan Aruch, I want to read to you over here like this. In Choshen Mishpat in Siman Reish Chavchet, that's 228. In Halacha Gimel, says like this: Tzarich lizaher be'onaat ishto lefi shedimata mitzuya rabotai. A person has to be very careful by the way he oppresses his wife, by the way he upsets his wife, because her tears are very easily found. She can come to tears very quickly. So that's why if a guy is doing something that's going to upset the wife, a lot of times people just go away. They go with their friends at night, or they just have to travel. Whatever you do, you want to ask your wife, do you mind? Is it okay? You just don't get up and walk away. There's a reason why Hashem put you guys together, to work with each other. So this is the halakha in the Shulchan Aruch. We want to do everything, but are we respecting our wives, Artur John? Are we listening to them? Are we there for them? I'm telling you right now, this technology world is going to kill everything away. Already, there's no more. You don't have to type no more. Baruch Hashem, what's calculated is now you could say, you speak, types. Some people don't even know how to type. Some people don't even know how to write. Kids today, they don't even know where to begin, Rabotai. Because everything is so easy, they don't even have to think. And that's what technology is doing. It's taking away our brain usage that we shouldn't think, and that we should be connected to the technology, but not to our families, chas v'shalom. Somebody told me, I don't know if this is true or not, somebody told me they said about the people that make these, apps and everything, these chats, all these things. Huh? What's that? The developers that make these apps, correct, for people to be able to communicate all these games, all these things. Somebody told me they will not allow their kids to use it. They won't, because they know the damage that's going to be done. But here we go, Rabotai, we pay $1,000 for it. We have no filter on Chas v'Shalom, and we do whatever we want. And then we want to know why there's so much problems. Rabotai, I'm telling you something. If two people want to get divorced, I don't have a problem. Listen, you don't like her, she doesn't like you. There's a reason why Hashem put divorce in the Torah. But let me ask you a question. Why are you being selfish? What about your kids? What about your parents? What about your in-laws? What about everybody else around you? Rabotai, each and everyone knows the problem within us. We have to be able to fix it. You don't have to go to no rabbi. You don't have to go to no doctor, no doctor. Rabotai, honestly, just say, I am wrong, I messed up. We close the book. Start a new page. No, you want to try to go ahead and rationalize everything. The person that rationalizes, that's when they lose. I want to read for you over here. I want to conclude with this Be'er Heitev. Rabotai, the Be'er Heitev in Sivkat and Betty says something very fascinating. Rabotai, what does this mean? What does this mean? That we have to be very careful not to upset our wives, chas v'shalom. He said like this, since a woman is soft, b'teva in nature, on the smallest pain she's going to cry. Ve'Hashem yitbarach makpid al hadimaot. Hashem is very particular on her tears. If a person that upsets a wife, his wife, Hashem is going to be very particular. He's going to take her tears and he's going to punish the husband for making his wife cry. Umayti sham hada amru, and it brings over there, this is what it says. Af al pi sha'arei tefillah nin alu, sha'arei dimot lo nin alu. Rabotai, even though the gates of prayer is closed, the gates of tears are never closed. That's why the Shulchan Aruch paskins over here, a guy has to be very, very careful to not to chas v'shalom make a woman to cry. That's why whenever she needs something, do not make her work for like a dog. She needs money, Rabotai, you give her money. She asks you to do something, you try to go out and you do something. Yes. So the person that brought this to my attention, 100% Rabotai, she's right. There's no permission for any husband while he's with his wife or with his kids to be there on the phone like a bum. Besides the bittul Torah that he's doing, besides the example that he's showing his kids, it is asur for a husband in front of his family and his children to be on the phone and make his wife upset. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen. Rabbi Chaim Igal.